Welcome to Global News Channel. I'm Forster, bringing you the latest developments in the 2024 US election and a closer look at President-elect Donald Trump's campaign promises. Over the next 40 minutes, we'll break down each promise Trump made, the challenges he'll face, and what Americans can expect in the coming years. To start, let's address a question that's on many minds. Can Donald Trump deliver on his campaign promises this time around? His second term comes with high expectations, and his supporters are eager to see real change. However, a divided Congress, economic instability, and mounting national debt pose significant challenges. Trump's campaign centered on several promises, all targeting core issues that resonate with his base. Let's dive into each one to see what lies ahead. First, tax reform. Trump's ambitious tax plan involves new cuts targeting middle-income families and small businesses. Trump argues that reducing taxes will spur economic growth and help struggling Americans regain financial stability. However, with the national debt currently above $33 trillion, many economists have raised concerns about how this tax relief will be funded. During his 2017 tax cuts, the primary benefits went to high-income earners, which led to criticism from both sides of the aisle. This time, Trump has pledged to ensure that the benefits reach everyday Americans. Yet the question remains, can tax cuts stimulate enough growth to offset the increased debt? Without substantial revenue, economists warn that such cuts could lead to cuts in essential programs, affecting public services from healthcare to education. Healthcare is another pillar of Trump's campaign, and this issue has remained contentious. Trump aims to replace the Affordable Care Act ACA with a plan he says will lower healthcare costs, reduce premiums, and increase competition among insurers. However, previous attempts to repeal the ACA met with significant opposition, and experts say any move to dismantle it could leave millions without insurance, particularly those with pre-existing conditions. Trump has promised that his new plan will protect these individuals, though the details remain sparse. Many Americans are left asking, can Trump actually reduce healthcare costs without risking coverage for vulnerable populations? Given the strong public support for elements of the ACA, healthcare reform may prove to be one of the toughest challenges Trump faces in his second term. Turning now to immigration policy, Trump has once again emphasized the importance of border security and strict immigration reform. He has promised to continue building the border wall, expand deportations, and restrict immigration programs that he believes are exploited. His administration is likely to encounter fierce opposition from Democratic lawmakers and immigration advocates, who argue that these measures are not only costly, but also inhumane. Trump's proposed changes include increasing funding for Border Patrol, ramping up detention facilities, and enforcing stricter criteria for asylum seekers. However, implementing these policies may depend on securing funding from Congress and winning legal battles, as many previous immigration policies have been blocked by federal courts. Trade policy is another key area Trump focused on during his campaign. He has repeatedly expressed dissatisfaction with current trade agreements, particularly with China, and pledged to pursue fairer terms to support American industries. His trade strategy involves negotiating tariffs and revisiting agreements that he believes disadvantage American workers. Trump's America First approach seeks to reduce the U.S. trade deficit and encourage manufacturing jobs to return to the U.S. However, experts caution that tariffs may lead to higher prices for consumers and retaliatory tariffs from other nations, potentially affecting American farmers and manufacturers who depend on exports. With a potential recession on the horizon, the question remains whether these policies will stimulate the economy or create further challenges for American businesses. One of the more surprising promises Trump has made relates to energy and environmental policy. He has proposed an energy dominance strategy that includes increasing oil and natural gas production, reducing restrictions on fossil fuel industries, and scaling back environmental regulations. Trump argues that expanding domestic energy production will reduce dependence on foreign oil, create jobs, and drive down energy prices. Yet, critics warn that this approach could lead to significant environmental consequences, including increased carbon emissions and damage to ecosystems. Trump's policies sharply contrast with global trends focusing on renewable energy and carbon reduction. With climate change as a growing concern among younger voters and many U.S. allies, Trump's energy policy may face international criticism and pushback from environmental organizations. Infrastructure development is another major focus. Trump has pledged to invest heavily in rebuilding America's infrastructure, including roads, bridges, airports, and broadband. This plan promises to create millions of jobs and improve essential services. However, similar infrastructure proposals during his first term struggled to gain momentum due to budget constraints and political infighting. While there is bipartisan support for infrastructure investment, the challenge will be finding common ground on funding. Many Americans are hopeful that infrastructure improvements will bring visible benefits, but questions remain about the feasibility of financing such an ambitious plan amid current budgetary pressures. In addition to these key areas, education reform is another issue Trump has addressed. He proposes expanding school choice, advocating for policies that allow parents to choose private or charter schools for their children using public funds. Trump argues that school choice will increase competition, thereby improving education quality. Opponents, however, worry that this will drain resources from public schools, which could negatively impact students who cannot afford alternatives. This proposal will likely lead to heated debates, with implications for the broader educational landscape and equal access to quality education. Finally, law and order has been a central theme of Trump's platform. He has promised to support law enforcement, implement tougher penalties for violent crime, and combat illegal drug trafficking. His focus on law and order has appealed to voters concerned about rising crime rates, but his approach has also faced criticism for its potential to exacerbate tensions in marginalized communities. Trump's plan includes increasing funding for police departments, instituting stricter sentencing laws, and bolstering the Department of Justice's role in prosecuting federal crimes. However, implementing these policies may deepen the divide in an already polarized nation. In summary, Trump's campaign promises cover a range of critical issues, from tax reform and healthcare to immigration and trade. Each promise carries potential benefits and challenges, and his ability to fulfill them will depend on navigating a divided Congress, addressing economic constraints, and balancing public opinion. Will Trump succeed in delivering on these promises, or are they merely aspirational goals? As the next 4 years unfold, Americans will be watching closely to see if his words translate into action. Thank you for watching Global News Channel with me, Forster. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this video to stay informed. We encourage you to comment below with your thoughts on Trump's promises and what you think lies ahead. For more updates and in-depth analysis, stay tuned and return to Global News Channel.